You know, that makes me think as well. Like, I hope you like this venue in comparison to the other venues that I was gonna choose, because this venue is closer to your home. Yeah. Being brown ain't what it used to be. Not every day nursing and accountancy. What? Sometimes fashion or comedy with second gen Asians living differently. That is right. Hello people, my name's Reuben Christian. I'm a presenter and comic. Well, this sounds like A-Team. Sorry, I'm a presenter and comic from London. I'm also an Asian man that's been brought up around black people while living in a white man's world. My mum's a nurse, my dad's an accountant, and me, I'm confused, man. And you're watching Being Brown, a show where I get to meet other second generation Asians that are doing things a little bit differently. Just so I don't feel so alone. So, for this episode, I hit Bermondsey's new secret cultural space Clued Up Coffee to chop it up with Arjun, a London-based singer, songwriter and record producer who is currently the most viewed UK Asian artist on YouTube with, listen to this year, over 250 million views and counting. Jeez! Here's a bit more about him. Right, so Arjun rose to attention by performing an R&B cover version of Why This Colaveri D, which was uploaded on YouTube in 2011 and has now received 14 million views and counting. When he recorded that, by the way, he's in his pyjamas. I just thought I'd let you know that. Anyway, since then, he's been featured on CNN, BBC Asian Network, and has even sang the official theme song for the ICC Cricket World Cup. Whoa! That's big things, you know. Big things. He's become known for his fusion of contemporary Western and Eastern sounds, combining R&B with elements of South Asian music. And right about now, a man like Arjun is on tour promoting his debut album, Closer to Home, which is also available on iTunes, as he kept reminding me in the interview. But there you go. So let's get to the interview. Before I drop some R&B there for y'all. Well, I was going to ask you as well. I want to talk about the album, Closer to Home, which is your first actual studio album, right? It's your first big, solid body of work. I'll start with asking a serious question. In track Alone, one of the lyrics says you had 20 missed calls from this girl. Yeah. What's the most missed calls? What's the most missed calls like you've ever had?
From who?
From a female admirer, an ex, or whatever it may be.
I mean,
we have to start off seriously. Do you know?
I don't know about missed calls, but I definitely get. I'm part of a lot of annoying WhatsApp groups that I'm trying to get out of at the moment. Like, that is my little pet peeve. Please don't add me. Don't create WhatsApp groups to plan a night out or a meal. Yeah. Just don't, because I've got so I mute them. I mute them all. I mute most of my groups. So if I'm in a group with you, now just know that you're probably not. I'm not reading your text.
Seriously speaking, now Closer to Home, according to the research I've done, I mean, I've listened to it like thoroughly, and I've read the lyrics.
Thank you. Did you buy it? Did you stream it?
I've streamed it legally, so you're getting some money for that, right?
Okay, 0.001p per stream, but yeah.
You're getting some money for that, though, right? Yeah. I will buy it, because now this is going out to the world, and if I don't, they're going to find me. Yeah. Is that about your identity? Because it seemed, and maybe I'm wrong here, that throughout your career, maybe you haven't had an identity crisis, but you've been in between two worlds, and this album, I believe, is bringing those worlds together. Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, that I should hire you to write my little blurb on the album.
I'll do PR as well.
See, to me, so obviously, I was born in Sri Lanka. Right. Moved here when I was like a toddler. I felt like I've been part of two different worlds. I feel like, obviously, especially because of just how I grew up and who I was friends with. I've had a lot of Asian friends, not just Sri Lankan, but mainly Indian friends as well. And I've always felt like I've been quite drawn to that culture, to Indian culture as well, just because, I don't know why, just from an early age I was very into Bollywood. Like, I liked watching Bollywood films, partly because of Aishwarya Rai and the actresses involved in it, but I definitely was always into the Asian side of things. But obviously my main passion musically was R&B. I think every Asian in the UK, for some reason, who grew up, at that time, was into R&B, which is weird, which is really strange, because the black community actually probably wasn't as much into R&B as much as they are into grime or bashment. Or
back then, at the time.
Even back then. I mean, they were into, there's a phase, obviously, like early 2000s when there's a lot of R&B just everywhere. A bit like how grime is now. But I guarantee you that most of the male audience that listened to R&B was Asian, because black girls might like R&B, but I think black guys are much more into the harder stuff. It's not cool to like Craig David back then if you're a black guy. It's fine if you're an Asian guy. You can bump Craig David all day, and it's fine because you're an Asian guy, and no one's gonna judge you for that. But
they're dropping DMX and that kind of.
Yeah, you know what I mean. So to me, like that was my. It feels very natural to me, like R&B. It's weird because obviously we're in an age now where everyone talks about cultural appropriation, where people are stealing from cultures and think things that aren't their own, and it seems not organic for someone who's maybe Asian, who's not been. I mean, there's a history. I mean, one thing that I hadn't fully realized is that culture and history comes into music and into you can't just do what you want to do. Like in terms of a white guy can't just be a rapper that easily, unless they're Eminem, or an Asian guy can't be Ed Sheeran. Do you know, if you know what I mean? Like unless it's like there's barriers, there's deeper barriers to things. I mean, you can, everything's possible, but it's a lot harder because I just think there's a culture that comes with the sound of music. So R&B has come through lots of different things, from black culture, from slavery to the songs that they made through those generations, and it's part of their fabric and their DNA. It's a cultural thing. It's not just the sound of music. So for an Asian guy who grew up in London and bumped Craig David and R. Kelly in his car suddenly be like, yo, I want to be the next Usher. Right. It's not globally that
you're going against the grain.
Yeah, I mean, it took me a while to realize that. I'm like, why? Because I used to think, why can't I sing R&B? Like, why shouldn't I be the next Genuine or the next?
Yeah, I mean, you
Joe?
Can sing R&B,
of course,
but
if you know what I mean,
about being accepted.
Exactly.
Right.
I think that's one thing that a lot of Asian people haven't realized, that there's a reason why globally, I mean, Asian music, we're the best at doing Asian music. So of course we're going to be accepted to doing Bhangra and Bollywood, and we're going to have millions of fans from doing that.
Right.
But when you try and break the mold, like if an African guy tried to do Bhangra.
Yeah, it's like if Snoop tried to drop a Bhangra album, or Big Nasty.
Yeah, it would be harder.
It'd
be less believable. It'd be like you're jumping on that culture because it's
trying
trending,
to ride this wave.
Exactly, yeah. Because it's just, I mean, it's just, to me, like that's part of the problem that we've had. But times have changed, because now obviously we're like third, fourth generation in the UK. We grew up with white and black friends, and we grew up with, we have a right to claim British culture as our own. I feel, and I think that there's definitely. There's been artists that have broken down barriers over the years. There's been generations of artists that have done things that have helped move the culture forward, but also just break down some barriers. And people are used to seeing a brown face on MTV base or whatever it might be, and that doesn't exist anymore. But whatever, like Kiss TV or whatever exists right now. And there's definitely been a change. It's been a lot harder. I think now is the best time to try and do it. Hence why I've gone back to my roots. And hence why this album is a lot more R&B than what I've been releasing the last few years.
Also, like you talked a lot about your evolution there, which is the evolution of your sound, but then also the evolution of you as a performer, and what you showcase when you're on a live stage has been quite interesting as well. I mean, I know you used to play the recorder, then you from the recorder to a rock star, to an R&B dude, to like a Bollywood singer, now back to kind of mixing it all up together. That evolution, has that been a natural process for you, or have you just reached plateaus? You're like, oh my God, I don't want to be a rock star anymore. Does it just happen suddenly, or is it a slow?
So let's be clear. When I was a rock star, I wasn't a rock star. I was a little kid in a rock band. Like,
how old were you then?
I was like 14, 15.
I mean, I was going to negate it, but 14 and 15, that's still a start. Something's happening there, right?
I mean, yeah.
How many people in this rock band?
Open mic nights, huh? Five people. It was me and four really tall white guys, and I was really short back then, so it's like little short Asian guy.
What colour was your hair, bro?
It changed. Blue.
Well, every performance?
Spray.
Just kept spraying up the ting.
Spray up the ting, bro.
So what? Were you front man? Were you the front man? Keep it moving.
No, I was awkwardly shy back. So I was actually the guy who'd write all the songs. I'd make the drum part for the drummer, teach it to him. I'd write the guitar part, teach it to the guitarist. I'd write the music often. I mean, one thing that I would not necessarily do was sing it. So I would be like behind the scenes.
Well, singing is a questionable word to use here. For the rock band.
Yeah, exactly. It was more like
a bit of screaming.
It was a lot of screaming, actually.
Yeah, which is an art form as well. Don't tweet me abuse. Yeah, good.
But yeah, so I was a creative person. I wasn't really someone who wanted the limelight at that point in time. Obviously, I've changed massively now. I'm obviously like Instagram whore, but
I don't think you are. You got like 32 posts or something. You're all right.
Yeah. Okay. But I did delete a lot of them.
Yeah,
I
I know.
archived a lot of them. So I had about 1,000 probably before that.
Yeah,
so,
that's what I was thinking. That archive.
It's good. It's good. It had a good
while.
effect now because it's made you think that I'm like more mysterious.
Yeah, less narcissistic. Yeah, go on.
But yeah, so so the rock band wasn't a rock star. It was just me in a rock band. But yeah, but you're exactly right. What it is I've come. I'm not saying that I've reached a phase of like enlightenment where I know exactly what I want to do, because you never know exactly what you want to do. Even in businesses, like it is a business. It keeps evolving. You keep meeting hurdles. You keep adapting. You keep evolving. And I think the best artists in the world are the ones who are able to just adapt and keep moving with the times, but also have an element of truth to themselves. I think realness is so important now. Whether it's Instagram posts, whether it's whatever it is, being real to yourself is more important than anything else. And people can see through it. People can tell if it's not really what you want to do. People will start to be like, nah, he's not pulling it off.
So I was pre in your Instagram,
Mm-hmm.
your 32 curated photos. Yeah. I was going through the pictures and stuff, and I was like, he's a fairly handsome dude. You're quite a good looking man.
Thank you.
You're waiting for a joke here. There's no joke.
Okay.
This is some real talk here. So I'm sure people want to know like what your like skincare regime is.
Oh wow. Okay.
So we're talking.
We're gonna go there.
We're talking soap. We're talking toothpaste. We're talking hair products.
Okay. So
aftershaves.
You know what? I don't believe in
bathing.
A lot of this. All right, I'm not that
He's just
Asian.
naturally.
Yeah. No, I don't believe in all this crazy stuff. Like a lot of girlfriends of mine, like female friends of mine.
Right.
Just
yes, clarity is very helpful.
Female friends of mine are obsessed with these beauty tutorial videos, which is like the thing at the moment. It's like these beauty videos, like how many layers of makeup can you put on,
and still look like yourself.
Yeah, well, or not even, but and they always tell me, oh, you should be doing this, you should be exfoliating, you should be doing this, I never had a spot in my life.
Oh,
I'm
really?
Very genetically
You're blessed, man.
lucky.
Yeah.
I used to have pure, like, clean skin.
Right.
The minute I tried to take that advice and use some of these weird products, like I started breaking out in rashes
coming out.
Yeah, weird stuff just started happening. So I was like, you know what? This is my beauty regime. I use Dove soap.
Yeah.
On my
Other
face.
soaps are available.
Yeah, Dove soap available in Waitrose or Tesco even.
Yeah.
And I use like Johnson's
baby lotion.
Baby lotion.
Bruv.
Baby lotion.
I've been telling. I'm saying I'm not on the levels of you, but my sheen is
that's
kind of on fleek.
Look how smooth that
this
is.
Chocolate bowling ball ting. Don't mess around. And it's been like Newham government juice, just tap water in the bath.
Yeah.
So
I honestly think that just keep it simple. And I think the key though is you should moisturize. Like
but do you think that's just because you're blessed? Whereas
What?
if other people just try to use Dove soap, they'll come out looking like a pizza. Another thing I wanted to ask is, I know when artists are touring or they have these extreme highs after an album launch or whatnot, and maybe they finish tour, and then there is nothing, there's less of a buzz in regard to that. How, and sometimes, even as a performer, as a comic, and my sister's an actress, and we know after performances or gigs, there's this low time where we're not doing anything. How do you cope with that? Because I thought it was just us that go through that, but everyone,
I think everyone
as
does.
artists in general.
I think artists. So for me, I had that just literally just now. So I had like a 6-week run where I was on the road constantly in different countries doing a lot of album promo, just being hectically busy.
Yeah.
And then I came back and there's been a bit of a lull for like 2 weeks in London.
What am I doing?
But
Shaking.
It's weird because when I'm on the road, I'm like, I want to go home and sleep. I just want to see my friends, I want to see my family. And when I get here for a few days, I'm like, oh, wicked, it's good to be back home, see my family, see my nephew, my little baby nephew.
Hello, mum. Okay, now
yeah,
what?
and I'm just like, I want to go again. I'm bored. That's why I want to go back on the roads. But obviously, like, so normally, so it's quite a weird one because the Asian scene is very different to the mainstream in that we don't do release cycles the way that a normal artist does. So, for example, normally, let's just take Beyonce, because I mentioned her before. Beyonce will spend 6 months in the studio, lock off, like just
deep work,
no shows, nothing, just in the studio, make an album, and then she'll tour the world for the rest of the year, or whatever it is, or for 2 years maybe. And she's not worried about doing this collab here, this song here in between. The Asian world, it's like we'll go to Australia for 2 weeks, then we come back and we'll write a song. Then we go to wherever, Singapore, and then we'll do something. It's just like very sporadic in that way. So, but I think it's nice that I've been able to release a body of work, so I can just now focus a bit more on just the touring side for a while. But even then, with collabs happening, even today, I told you just now, there's people just landing from India. make a song today. It's like, okay, fine, let me make. So I think that's the kind of the beauty, but also the downside of being in the Asian world is that it's a lot less structured. There's no real touring structure.
Really? So it's kind of like the roads in Delhi.
Yeah. But the roads anywhere in India.
Yeah, there's no guidelines. If you survive, you survive. Take that turn, go for what you want. Wow.
6 lanes of traffic, 2 lanes of cows, one of like...
Yeah. And then a hybrid of a cow and a car. That's next. You know what? I went to India not too long ago and I saw a family of 6 on a moped.
Yeah, that's
I mean,
probably about the average or below average, but yeah.
Yeah, and only the dad had a helmet. Like, he didn't care about the rest of the whole family. And there was a teeny baby in there and I was like, sort that out, India, man. Sort that out. Do you have a I know you mentioned that you have a PT, right?
Yeah.
For when you have the time to kind of keep you motivated and doing your stuff. Do you also have a nutritionist?
So he was doubling as a bit of a nutritionist as well, to be fair.
He all round
he's just generally to give me advice. My diet is not amazing, like I said, on the road. I tend to just eat a lot of hotel food, a lot of plain food. It's hard. It's really hard. It's very hard. But when I'm here, I do try and just stick to quite a strict. I mean, it's quite not rocket science. Like, just eat less.
Just don't eat crap.
Cut carb a lot. Don't eat too much carb late at night. Don't eat post a certain time. I mean, because you're just not going to burn it off. It's hard, man. It's really hard. I love food, and I love when you're traveling. When you go to an amazing place, you go to Dubai, or you go to wherever, you want to eat the food.
Yeah,
you
it's
want
also
to go
Sri
and have a
Lankan
salad.
custom and culture, man.
Yeah, exactly.
Do you know what I mean?
Sri Lanka, bro. Then I'm dead. I'm screwed.
You're finished. You need to go there anorexic and then fill up.
I literally have to starve myself from before. Yeah, it's hard, man. The short eats.
Yeah, that's what I do at family buffets. Do you know what I mean? Or when there's a free bar.
You do a fast.
Yeah, a week fast, and then take a bag home because my mum would have ordered free food as well.
But it's the hardest thing because in Sri Lanka, I go for I don't know, a week or something.
Right.
Often it's longer, but it's like there'll be 4 sets of relatives to see each day, and they're all gonna feed you the same short eats, the same cake, green cabin chocolate cake, and mutton rolls. So you have to take one, and then like from each. It's about planning it. You plan strategically. You can't go in hard the first one because you'll just knock out. You'll fall asleep because you eat too much.
You'll get knocked out. Yeah. Talking relatives. Before you go, because you've spoke to me about a lot of things. There's one thing I always like to ask anyone, especially Asian people in the creative industries, parents. Now, how hard was it to convince your parents that you wanted to go full time with this? Because I mean, parents have beef when you're just expressing an interest. You might just accidentally hum a tune and they'll shut that down now.
Yeah.
when you full time, like, how did that?
Yeah. Okay. You know what? So I'm very lucky. I think I'm pretty sure. It's not normal that my parents are very open-minded for Asian parents, for Sri Lankan parents. But my mum, even further than that, has been part of my team. She's been a core member of my team as a manager or whatever for the last 5-6 years. Jeez. She's been very involved with my career. Right. I think that's what they do. They get like really involved so they can control what's happening and see what's going on.
An element of control
that's
somewhere.
How they try. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So, but in a good way. And my in case she watches this, and my dad, it took him longer to be okay with it because he's a bit more conservative. Still not at all conservative by Tamil father standards at all. Right. So it took him a while. He had gone to university. He's like, oh, you got a degree. You're doing so well. Why are you going to throw it away and just become a bum?
Yeah.
And then the turning point for him, I think, was cricket. Because Sri Lankans can relate to cricket and sports. So when he saw that, because I did the official T20 World Cup song.
Yes, well done.
Playing in the stadiums, and playing in all over Sri Lanka, and then I think that is when he was like, oh, okay, you're doing something that is connected to his world.
Now, I get it now.
Yeah. Okay, so I think that was a big thing, but I think also it's just natural, man. If I had a kid, I wouldn't want them to potentially waste all the hard work they've done on something that may or may not work out. It's a very challenging career, as we all know. It's not every day is a good day. But yeah, I'm very, very grateful that they've let me have this chance for sure. Yeah,
that's dope, man. That is just dope in general. Listen, man, thank you for chopping it up with me. I appreciate that. For being honest as well, and for being a good sport, because I know I'm not an easy person to speak to. In general.
What does that mean?
No. Some people are like, yeah, Reuben's interviewing me. Nah, man, I'm not really on that. I mean, he survived. I survived. We're both alive. Oh, that rhymes. Which means I had to play a game to make it worth his time. So we're going to play a game.
Okay.
Because I know you're a massive fan.
Of games.
You're a massive fan of games.
I've been impromptu games. I love them, yeah.
Yeah, so the game's called Relative Shutdown. Right? So I'm going to play a relative. So imagine, right, you've just decided. So a lot of young Asian people are probably going to go through this. They've just decided they want to be a singer.
Okay.
And then they go to their uncles and aunties' house. Their aunties and uncles try and shut them down. So you're going to have to give a response to these. So the first one's an uncle.
Okay.
You're going to have to come back with a response so that people can actually use this.
All right.
Singing? Singing is for the shower, not for the monies. I don't know what accent that is, but I'm
Irish,
guessing
is it Irish or?
Yeah, it's an Irish Indian man.
Okay.
So I don't need to repeat that. Singing is for the shower,
That's
not
a
for
statement.
the monies.
Is that a
Well,
question?
that's what they say, though, isn't
Okay,
it? They
yeah.
don't give you an option, do they?
I just stay silent. What were you gonna say?
So
No, it's not for the shower. It's for the living room too, bro.
And that's your answer. Right, I hope that helps you guys. So here's Auntie One then.
Hey, your auntie with like
No, sorry, let me try it.
diarrhea or something.
Please don't travel the world. It's dangerous. You catch disease.
So that's the auntie. So again, that was please don't travel the world. It's dangerous. You may catch disease.
Okay.
What are you
Well,
gonna say?
auntie, you know what? I always wear a scarf the whole time.
Okay.
Even if it's 35 degrees, I still wear a scarf. So don't worry, I'll wrap up warm and long johns.
Okay, go.
This is there's one more uncle and aunt here. There's another uncle here.
Your lyrics are too sexy. You must not be so sexy.
I would have blocked my uncles. They wouldn't have seen it. So this is all inaccurate.
You've got
I blocked
over
them
1
all on
million
Facebook.
views on YouTube, which is a public platform.
That's true.
They've got connects, kids.
I don't know what to say about having my sexy lyrics. What do you mean by okay. I'm confounded. I don't even know what to say.
Listen, I won't put you through any more of this hell, Arjun.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, man. Appreciate
100%. Listen, best of luck with everything in general.
it. Get the album. What?
Yeah, get the album, everyone. I'm gonna, 100%. I'm going to do that, and
Yeah.
I'm going to send you a screenshot. But in general,
please
best
do.
of luck. Best
Thank
of
you
luck
so
with touring
much.
and
Thank
everything.
you,
And
man.
if there's
Appreciate
anything I can help you with, I have no idea what that can ever be.
Talking to aunties and uncles.
Yeah, family advice.
Impersonations.
Shout me. Okie dokie, it's home time, but don't forget, ladies and gentlemen, Closer to Home is available right now on Amazon, Google Play and iTunes, so check that out. Thank you very much also for watching episode 2 of Being Brown with myself, Reuben Christian. If you don't know who I am and you want to know, check out more of my shenanigans there on the left. You can subscribe to Thamarai, bang in the middle, or you can check out Arjun's videos and subscribe to his YouTube channel there on the right. Also want to say a massive thank you to Clued Up Coffee, the cultural spot down in Bermondsey, for putting up with me that day. Much love, and don't forget people, do you and stay being brown. Peace.